Hello my dear Pisces, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December 1st and December 15, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I use the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquise, and it's illustrated by Scott Murphy. And I will start shuffling your cards. When I open your deck here, we see the King of Cups. That's probably you, and strength. So it seems like you are both healthy and strong Pisces, or you're aiming towards health and strength. So I call the divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Pisces viewers. So I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, with shuffling your cards, it seems like Pisces is way underneath the water right now. So a lot of emotions, but hopefully good ones. I also want to take the chance to tell you that Venus is moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius December 2nd. Mars is moving from Libra to Scorpio December 9. Mars, yes, this is Mars in Leo actually. So it seems like it will bring a little bit more stamina to you, maybe to stand up for the truth and things similar to this. Yes, you see, 6 of Cups is reconciliation. You have 6 of Swords. It's like you are going to stand up for harmony, like making harmony, and you want justice and truth. And it's like you are putting very firm boundaries. Or you might encounter people that is doing this. They are going to kind of fight for truth and justice with honor. It looks very, very hopeful. And you will have help of the Mars going into what were I saying? Yes, from Libra, very like more timid astrological signs to Scorpio. So it will be emotional and a little bit fiery with the Mars aspect. So Mercury is on the cusp Sagittarius Capricorn in the start of the month and stations December 3, and it starts to move retrograde back into Sagittarius until it stations again the 23rd of December. We will therefore have like a Mercury retrograde in December when all the holidays is on. Okay, so be out in good times. If there's flight delays or other problems with traffic or communication. Also, Jupiter is moving direct in Scorpio. Saturn is in late degrees of Sagittarius and are moving direct. Pluto is moving direct in Capricorn, and Uranus is moving retrograde in Aries. And the Sun, it went into Sagittarius the 22nd of November and will move into Capricorn the 22nd of December. And we'll have the super full moon in Gemini December 3rd. New moon will be on the cusp Sagittarius and Capricorn in December 18. A lot is going to happen on the cusp Sagittarius and Capricorn. We will eventually see Saturn moving into Capricorn instead of Sagittarius as well. We will also have the midwinter solstice at December 21st, 1628 UTC time. The midwinter solstice is the real reason to why we celebrate Christmas. In Sweden it's called Jul, which means wheel. It's kind of the New Year's Eve of the year, of the solar year. The spring equinox is Easter. And the midsummer solstice is also lively celebrated in Sweden, with a midsummer pole, a very ancient tradition to fertilize the lands. And then we celebrate Halloween, or in Sweden, the Night of All Saints, to replace the fall equinox that actually takes place in September. What I want to aim towards is that this is a part of a very, very ancient calendar, which also the astrological science is a part of. A turn with the wheel to all the astrological signs is called a great year. The length of one cycle, or the 12 ages, is 25,860 years. So we stay approximately 2,155 years in every sign. We went to the age of Pisces 68 BC and will go into the age of Aquarius 2087 AD. It is the stars in the background on the spring equinox that determine in what age we are in, but it's a lot of debate on exactly the timing. But this is the best dates for me, that feels best for me, like logically. Okay, so I will just tune into your reading, my dear Pisces. Okay. Okay, so my dear Pisces, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. The past is probably October, November 2017, and we have the Five of Swords here. So it might be that you have been through some battles during this time, or someone has battled against you in some way. Here we have the now, and here we see the Magician. So Magician is Mercury, and we have the Mercury retrograde. So it seems like maybe you need to go back to that argument, or maybe you need to go back in kind of your approach to arguments. We saw a lot with truth and honor and standing up for what you believe in. So it might be this that you are going to have. It's like having homework when it comes to communication. Okay, so you have gotten some homework with your communication, and it's like the divine wants you to communicate in a more truthful way. Maybe disregarding a little bit social convention, and see if you can really communicate yourself truthfully from your heart, kind of. We saw a lot of heart also when we were shuffling. Okay, and here you have the future, and you have the Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords came in this underneath this future deck also for Virgo. So you have that in common, a broken heart. I think this is about fixing your broken heart with standing up for yourself when it comes to communication. So it's rather simple. It doesn't have to mean like end of days, but probably you will be hurt in the same way that you have been hurt before, but this time you are going to take another approach to it, and probably not just accept the shame of being silent, like someone is silencing you, or snapping off your comments, or in some way trying to not make you have your voice heard. So this, of course, the betrayal of it all will hurt, but it's just school, so don't worry. Okay, keep cool. Feel your emotions, but don't be your emotions. Okay, so first card for you Pisces here is an Ace of Pentacles. So it's a promise of a new beginning, but it's just an embryo. It's just like an embryonic state. It's a doorway, but if you never open it, you will never have the chance of seeing what's on the other side. If this egg doesn't get fertilized, it will never come to life. So it's something that's offered. It's like a chance of something. Okay. Next card is an Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands here, I feel that it's a chance of communication, what I just told you. Like you will get, it's like a theater scene will be set for you and all the players, and then you come out and you are going to play out the drama one more time, and it's like you get a second chance with this. And it's very beautiful new beginnings here. So you can really strip off all the old, like all your old domestication, and really express yourself straight from your own soul. this is really something new. And here we have the Page of Cups. When I shuffled the card, we saw the Ace of Cups. And Page of Cups is just someone holding the Ace of Cups. It's pure water, both of those. But we see here that this Page of Cups shows the problems with emotions when we are immature, that they can get the better of us. They can make us overindulge or be a little bit over dramatic, or in some way showing immaturity, because if we are not familiar with our emotions, we will be taken by them and we will live them, and we will do whatever we can to keep them satisfied, or we do whatever we can to run away from them. It's one or the other approach when you're not used to your emotions. When you are more seasoned with emotions, you will listen to them like you read a book, but you won't believe everything they say. So it's a little bit like this. But here it's very new, fresh and new, okay? So it might be a new relationship also, but I think it's mostly like a new way for your inner child to communicate. Okay, and here we have the Eight of Cups, and what I feel here is like you are trying to keep your relationships together. You're trying to make everyone happy. You're trying to make everyone like you, but it's not working. So you're kind of feeling that you want to give you want to give up. You want to flee the scene or kind of leave the stage. So yeah, getting so tired of it all, but it's a good thing, because when you are very disappointed with people in your surrounding or with events in your life, you will turn inside to yourself and you will feel miserable, and that is when you can read the book of your feelings. So stay with your feelings in this situation. It's like you need a little time to tune into yourself and hear what it is that you want to say. You don't want to shy away from people forever. It's just that it's like you need to regroup and find out what it is that you really want to say. What's really the issue? Why are you feeling tired of them? Why do you want to leave them forever and ever? Why do you never want to talk with them again? Is it disrespect that you are feeling? Do they disregard your feelings, or they don't? What is it that happens? Doesn't they take your views in this like, oh, I'm losing the words, in like they don't see your views. They don't see it from your point of view. It can be a lot of things. We see the moon is present here in different degrees. Here it's like it's starting to hide away a little bit more. So I'm thinking you also going into hiding. It's like a new beginning, and you were not happy with it. It was, I think mostly it doesn't have to be a new beginning on the outside of you. It can be a new beginning on the inside of you, that something has just turned inside of you and it's a new setting. And with this new setting, you are more likely to get tired of situations more quickly. And it's probably because you know yourself better now. You can feel those pure earth, pure fire, pure water. You can feel those elements inside of you, and they are guiding you. And you're listening. Before you were maybe more tolerant, so you can withstand whatever people did or said to you, and just, you know, bite together your teeth and grind them a little bit. But now I think you are more in tune with yourself, so you feel more instinctually what to do. Okay, and here we have the Chariot. So it seems like you leave in a great haste, but it doesn't. I don't think that you are leaving. I'm thinking that you're holding kind of your inner child very high, and you're not going to tolerate any crap anymore. Like, you will be glad to take a chance, but if other people doesn't like take the chance together with you, this is like singular. So no one is helping you. Maybe then you go on your own agenda. So the horse here, the red horse, is Sagittarius, and the Chariot here is water, is kind of Cancer. So it's like your inner emotions is very well directed. It's much like this, like the Ace of Wands, the fire. Like this horse there, it's the fire, and this child is maybe sitting in the Chariot there. Okay, so you see, it's like you are taking your emotions and your soul's side of this. You're seeing things from your own view. So I think it's good, because I think many of you have been able to see everyone's view and have like had a little bit of problem of standing up for your own view. You see here, you have been under attack, and I think your response is very innocent and not very like not much fighting there. It's more like, well, you will start over somewhere else if people are going to be bitchy. So okay, so it seems very hopeful. It's just that your emotions is a little bit unbalanced, because this was probably not what you wanted, but it's what you're triggered to do because there's no better option. It's like this. So maybe you had fought for a certain situation for a time, but now with your new setting you can't tolerate to be in that situation anymore, so you leave the situation. So I think it's good, but it might not be exactly what you wanted. Maybe you wanted more help from people. It's just singular here, cards, so no help. It seems like you're very alone and also under attack. So maybe you wanted things in another way, that more support, and this could have been a harmonious situation. But now it's like you are called to do a harmonious situation for you. Build that foundation first, and then you can share your foundation with other people. But first it seems like you need to deal with this inside of you. Here we have the Magician, Mercury, and here we have the Emperor. So Emperor is usually Aries, but I'm thinking this is going in the line of all the rest. This is my way or the highway, kind of. So yeah, I think you are getting more decisive, like you are deciding more what you actually want to have in your life. You're putting better boundaries, and you're not staying if a situation become unbearable or even like a little bit uncomfortable. It's like you have better things to do with your time. So this is really good. I'm impressed, actually, even if it will be like, yes, a little bit sacrifices left, because it's what I told you about. You don't feel like you have common ground with other people, and you would have rather built something with them, and now you have to build something without them, and it seems like something needs to cave, something needs to yield. And we see the Emperor here, so this new stability, and it's falling already. But I'm thinking it might be also, Aries people can be a little bit stubborn, so it can be like this, that you have a stubborn person in your life that doesn't want to cooperate with you. But I think your communication might, we see the fire here, and we have a lot of fire in the flash there, might give them some insight, so they will maybe step down from the high tower or the high ground, and be a little bit more modest, and maybe start to help you. Sorry, someone called me on my new Skype app and it disrupted the reading, so I will continue here, try to remember where I were. But I was talking about something with the light coming in here, the flash of light, the flash of insight, and a message that might tear down a tower from some authority, might be this. Okay, so it looks like you're very sweet and innocent here, and just very tired of things. But here it's like almost like a civilization falling. Okay, with the Emperor and all. And here we have the King of Swords coming underneath the Page of Cups. So this is actually rather good, because to be a complete person you need 3 archetypes at least. The child, the witch, and the warrior. And here you have the child and the warrior. I don't see the witch, that are supposed to interpret the signals of the inner child, but the warrior is here, being able to protect you anyway. So that seems very good. We will just see how it went on, because sometimes This can of course be a person also that is very logical, but in the same time has a very fragile inside. So they might be like very dramatic and very quick to use their sword. And it can be so with you right now, that you are very quick to use your sword because you have recently learned a new skill. Okay, and here we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is the one that holds the seed to the new beginning. So I'm thinking we are working with your inner child, and we are kind of calibrating your antenna. So it wants to be heard. Your inner child wants to be heard and listened to, and you need to learn to hear and listen to it, and also act upon it in a way that is good for you. Because the inner children here, they can be very childish. They are the core of you, but they can be very, very childish, and they want what they want, and they cry like little babies. So you can feel very upset when they have something to say. And in that upset mood, you are not supposed to act out. You are supposed to have your witch then that interprets the signal of the child, like the mother interprets the signals of her baby, and try to figure out what it is that they actually want. So for example, if you have like an authority in your life that might cause like a lot of trouble for you, they are always like trying to whip you into subordination, or to do something that they want, or they maybe just, you know, pinch you a little bit here and there to make you feel small and insignificant. And here with the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, they might pick up these signals and they feel small and insignificant, but they can't really say it. They just present their emotions to you, or their wants and needs to you. And then you, as the adult person, needs to interpret these signals. Okay, I feel very upset right now. What's this about? And this is feeling upset maybe, and this is what do I need in this situation? And here you have like a fatherly touch to this. So it seems like you are backed up, and even though the tower has fallen here. So I think the messages is coming from this King of Swords, and it's also the King of Swords that cuts off your relationship. So you have a very strong judge. So it might be that you go very hasty from the inner child to throwing out people on the street, and you have probably a little bit problem with the female side of this. The female, the witch, would be able to interpret things, maybe that, okay, this is how you feel, and say to the King of Swords, communicate now how we feel. But instead it's like, I feel like crap, and I won't take this anymore, and I'm out the door. So it's very quick. It's like if someone do something stupid, it's like a big eruption here with flashes, and then with the Eight of Cups and the Chariot, you are gone. But we'll see where it goes with this Page of Pentacles. King of Cups. Okay, so that's good. It's good, but it's also confusing, because the King of Cups is it's like a very mature energy when it comes to emotions. But I'm thinking like this, that you are actually running away to heal. Okay, so when you are cutting people out and you are running away, you do so you will find balance again and heal. So it may not matter so much in this state that you are missing you have the missing link is gone. It's the witch is not there to interpret the signals. You cut off the relationship, you run and hide, and you heal yourself. You take a grip on yourself, you fill your own needs, and you heal yourself. You find like the inner calmness when you're alone, or when you are running. Okay, so then you feel calm, and you feel collected, and you feel in control, and it's a way to kind of flip off these people that was not nice towards you, and showing them that you are able to do this alone. So you see here, every other card is a male figure. Here we have the Emperor, the King of Swords, King of Cups. So Aries, usually Aquarius, but any kind of air sign. This can of course be other fire signs as well. And here you have the King of Cups. That is usually Scorpio, but it's probably you. Okay, I think both the King of Swords and the King of Cups is you, and it's just different way that you are acting in a situation. You cut people off and then you run and then you feel great because you are on the move, or you leave the situation, or you don't need those people anymore. But it's it would be better, of course, if you could communicate yourself in a way. It's this missing link, like the female side of it, because then you could have told these people, I don't care for how you act towards me, and I want you to change, and then patiently just waiting for them to change. But here it's like it's children and kings, so it's either or. Either you're very subordinate to this energy, or you are becoming a king, but the king on your own, a little bit like this. Okay, but you are learning. It's like a learning curve. You are trying to learn what you need, and when you are getting like too emotionally drained in a situation, then you take better care of you, your natural self, your inner child. So you're starting to put yourself first here. So that is a big win, I think. Okay, so the next card for you is the Ten of Pentacles, and we see here Ace of Pentacles, Emperor, Ten of Pentacles. I think this represents the society or some kind of safety or some social group that you want to be a part of. It can be like also a husband or a father figure, something that, or your masculine side. That it's like Alpha and Omega here, and you see also how it's like the same painting almost. You are in the forest here, and you're trying to find out what's your basics needs, and how to put boundaries so you will be able to fulfill your basic needs of home and security and work and other people, but in the same time being you see this man is standing behind a fence, still have boundaries to be able to communicate with people and be with them, and still be your own person, still not letting them intrude on you or make you feel vulnerable or in some way attacked like this. I think that you are working on this to be able to try to stay in the situation and solve it where it is, and not just cutting off people. And it might not just be on you, like if the other people are just used to being in authority and cut you off, of course then you have to do whatever you can to regain some kind of balance, maybe by leaving and saying, okay, so boss over this, I'm gone. Okay. And here we see what about the broken heart. We have the Sun here, and it comes underneath Ace of Wands and the Tower. So I'm thinking this, what you have, like what your soul wants to say, seems to be very important. So don't let yourself be discarded or discouraged in any way. It's awareness and light that wants to come forward. I think I said this, like living in a tower and the light wants to come out. Maybe it was in the Virgo reading. That it will eventually break from the inside if nothing is attacking the tower from the outside, because this shining light, this soul of yours, it doesn't want to have the shell anymore. It doesn't want to have the border. So I'm thinking also that a lot of your own protection is yielding for a greater power within you. So it might be that you will approach people in a more powerful way because you are not scared anymore of the consequences of your action. You have 19 Sun here, 1 + 9 is 10, so 10. So it's like it's in a state where it's concluding. You have aces here and then 10. Okay, so fire, this is the highest card for energy in the whole deck, despite the Sun. And here you have Ace of Coins and 10 of Pentacles. So I'm thinking you started on square one and already are up to speed and being very powerful. So you are dealing with powerful energies as well. I think that you have become more powerful. It's just this, what worries me is that you miss the witch. Like you have no one to be the diplomat in it all. So it's either being very dramatic or being like super decisive and cutting people's head off. So yes, and here we have the Fool. So the Fool is 0, and you have it here, Page of Cups, King of Swords, and the Fool. So it's kind of the Fool twice here, but it's Minor Arcana Fool and Major Arcana Fool, and here's its Ace and then the full head of it. So here's the little child and here's the universal child. So it seems like the connection between the universal child and your logic is now becoming very strong. It's a very it's a very contradiction, like with this communication that you have, because usually people that's very logical, they don't have any connection with their inner child or their heart. But here it seems like you really have mastered this in some miraculous way. And it's like this as well, that sometimes the child is very afraid of the inner judge because the child has a need, and if the judge says no, there will be no more of this because they are not treating you well, so we are cutting off here, then the child might be crying even more. So I think this cooperation is a little bit odd, but I will go with it because it seems to work for you, okay? It's bringing something marvelous here with the Ace and the Tens and little child and the Fool here. Okay, and here we have 6 of Swords. So I think you're really trying to learn this with communication. And here we at least have some kind of female. So that's nice. You see here you are leaving, but here you are a disciple. You try to learn. So you're leaving here to go into the subconscious. And the Page of Pentacles is traditionally like an artist or someone that writes music. Or so they are a little bit like fragile, but they have a very nice connection with the dream world and things like that. They are like fairies, okay? Like fairies. And here you have the ferryman over the river Styx. 6 of Swords is about truth. And truth and honor, and here it's kind of, you have this little fragile entity inside of here, and here you have the witch and a very peaceful warrior, but he has the staff, the wand in his hand anyway, and you see the beard of him here. So it seems like your warrior is kind of peaceful. It doesn't fight for the like to win or being right. It just fights for truth. Okay, for truth and for the right to honor this inner little part of you, to take this inner part of you, what's true for you, into consideration. So if that makes you lose your relationship or lose important situation, it doesn't really matter, because you gain yourself. And when you have yourself, you kind of have everything. And you see also you have the sun. Sun here, and here's enlightenment, and it's actually the symbol for the sun, astrological speaking. So the sun is of course your soul, and this is a person being enlightened. So I'm thinking you are starting to go on a very high journey here, Pisces, and becoming both very innocent and at the same time very wise. So don't disregard that. Be trustworthy and innocent. It's like you are brave enough. The King of Swords usually are not that brave because he's very calculating and he's cautious. He don't do anything that's not calculated. And the Page of Cups and the Fool is more, they just jump into things and they trust the universe. So even in the midst of a storm, they trust the universe and just step out. So I'm thinking you are vibrating on a very, very high level here. It's like... like when a wise person, they become so wise that they become innocent and childlike again, if that makes sense. You can see this on any enlightened person, that they are a little bit childlike. And here we have the Four of Swords. So I think this with the silent treatment or leaving people is going to continue being your game for a while. So the only thing I'm missing is the female aspect. I see 2 females here, and in very great cards talking about truth. So maybe they are already integrated in you and we don't have to worry. Maybe the big news here is that your child is no longer scared about cutting people out, if that is the truth, because maybe you feel very taken care of. And like, even if you are totally alone and like in a hermit mood almost, it's like you still have things surrounding you and supporting you, so you never feel alone. It's like you have got a connection with the spiritual realm of you. But what I see is that you are going to shut people out, probably because they have broken your heart in some way. And it's probably some kind of authority or some self, like a person that has made themselves into an authority, and I don't think you accept that. You'd rather be alone than underneath this authority that seems to... well, the only conflict I see is really the Five of Swords, so it's something that has happened like a little bit far, but it might be like with those two cards together, it's very much like maybe a control freak of some sort. And we see the Eight of Swords underneath here. It's like maybe you have felt like this, like you were controlled by very authoritative peoples, like all these swords is different opinions of you, and now you are going to become this authority yourself, so you won't have to bend your head, and you can still feel calm and relaxed, and it's like you still feel very centered, even if you are all alone and you're leaving people behind. But we also have this this mysterious relationship here between the children and the kings. But I'm thinking it's like your inner child is getting a father figure, like you are taking better care of yourself. It's also end with a 4. The 4 is connected to the Emperor. So this, you may not, if communication doesn't work, you go to silent treatment and just cut off people from your life. That is also kind of boundary. And you do so because it seems like you feel more healthy when you're alone. It's like you are becoming much better on taking care of yourself. We'll see if the divine has some other interpretation on this for Pisces. Card for Pisces. One card for Pisces. Pisces. We have some cards jumping, but it doesn't feel like it there. Okay. Yes. This is the melancholy I feel with the whole reading, that you feel very vulnerable, like specifically in the first row. So I think you love something and you miss something, but it's like it didn't give you what you needed or what you wanted, or it wasn't particularly helpful. It's like if you have been in a family and you have memories from that time being in that family and they never supported you. This is the feeling that I get from this. So I think that Pisces are kind of dividing themselves from people that have never supported them. And they rather be alone right now than be with people that are not supportive. So I think it's very healthy. It's like you're taking your own side. You had no one to take your side when you were a child like this. We can see this is a grown woman. She still holds her doll, and it's the diary here. And that pendulum that's probably has like memories from past lovers and also parents. So I think this is a little entity that hasn't got the support from their own parent and from their own bosses at work, friends, family members, lovers, whatever. And now with all the kings here, I think that you are starting to take care of you, like what the other people never did. So at least you have you now. So that's why you are heightening your vibration so much, because you are taking your own side. So I think it's lovely. Okay, it's very, very beautiful. Also, we'll take this. Quiet times, yes. You are going into quiet times, and it's like when all the world is stripping away from you. Maybe there's a lot of conflicts and you will feel like you are all alone. It's actually those times when you come closer to yourself and also to the divine, they might want like some alone time with you. So don't feel that it's something wrong with you for losing all those relationships. It is not. It is you starting to define your new self, and you're doing so. It's like you're being called to the well of the divine, and they are actually helping you a great deal with breaking through old patterns and coming out all new. So I will read this card for you. The silent vibration of quiet is the loudest, most encompassing sound known to mankind. You have been far too busy to hear it, so now it's the time when you need to accept the stillness and tranquility into your soul being. Let yourself bathe in the hush of peace and tranquility so you can soothe your soul and restore your equilibrium. Okay? So this is why this is happening, and this is why I feel this high vibration here, because it's like you're meditating in stillness on your own life, and like just feeling whatever it is, and probably feeling the pain as well, like the pain of all the people that haven't supported you and that had made you feel so utterly alone. So don't be afraid for this energy. It's going to manifest beautiful things in your life later on. It just wants to take like a little time of your life to kind of settle. It's like you're setting new computer settings or getting the latest upgrade. So don't worry if your life is a little bit boring here in the later part of December. I'm fearing a little bit for Christmas, but it seems like Santa Claus is here anyway. And well, maybe he's coming here with the chariot as well. Yes, that is that too. He's coming here, and you have some time to rest and ponder. It might be also the reason to why you have these figures here. It's much fathers. I don't see the women, as I told you, so much. But it's anyway children and this Santa Claus figure. So I'm thinking maybe you are dealing with the father figure in a way that we have this beautiful image of the father figure in the Santa Claus. But when we look in our own lives, that father figure in many lives are absent, because males have had problems with showing their emotions the last 1,000 years or so, because of we have required them to be warriors. Don't cry, don't be a girl. So therefore many children haven't had like a loving father in their lives, and I think you are becoming your own loving father to yourself, and maybe towards your children as well. Also, if you are a female, this might be the thing, that you are kind of replacing the father role, because if there's no father around that can be the Santa Claus in a child's life, then you might need to be that person for them. And you might need to be that person for you. It's like if you want to start a total new party with loving fathers all through our future, you need to start with a man in the mirror, even if that man is a woman, like with the masculine side of you. Start to make that side stronger and more just, and standing up for justice and standing up for the small children and for the weak in the society. If you start to do that, you change the future for all of us. And the more people that does that, eventually we'll have another kind of male figure in our life that can actually show emotion and be a support. Not just a man in a beard that comes once a year and then you never see this figure again because he's gone. But I think a lot of you will have like rest over the holidays, and maybe you will also kind of rest from the man, like from maybe someone that has demands on you. I'm thinking like a workplace situation. And maybe some of you will also figure out, maybe you will want to change jobs. Maybe you want to have more freedom. It's also traveling could be a thing here. And maybe a more still life. Like we don't need like more effective people. We need more wise people if we as a human race is going to survive. The planet will survive without us. It's just our own survival that's are at stake here. Okay, my dear Pisces, it seems like you will have a wonderful Christmas in quiet and peace, but there will also be childhood memories being brought to surface. And when they are, you are supposed to stand by your own side and be this Buddha. Like many people will spend time with their family, and one man once said that if you think you're so enlightened, go and spend a weekend with your parents or a week with your parents. And this is you spending maybe a week with your family, and it seems like you're enlightened enough and you will get your peace and your rest. But there might be some trouble in some relationship, and it's like they need to catch up with you to where you are right now if they want to be with you. If they want to be with you, they can't treat you like dirt. They need to respect your boundaries, and when they do, they might be welcome back in your life. But for now, it seems like you're leaving their behinds. Okay, so take the best care, and I hope to see you again for the mid-month readings. It will come in the beginning of December. Okay, bye bye.